time, you'll see him wilding out, dancing here and there. But for the most part, very laid back. He's now at the professional level and he has a connection with his dad, right? What kind of story is that? That's an incredible story, right? Then you got the middle son, Leangelo. He really didn't have a story. His story before was he was just the least talented amongst the three. That was his story prior. So now he has this new story. He goes to China. He steals some, he steals some glasses with some of the players on the UCLA Bruins basketball team. They get arrested. They spend over about 36 hours in jail, right? Before they get bailed out, they was in there for about 30 seconds. So that's again Leangelo's story. He used to be the worst. That was his story. He was the worst of the three. Like the person that probably wasn't going to the professional level. That was his story. Now again, he got the shoplifting with the whole Donald Trump thing, right? Donald Trump helped those three UCLA Bruins get out of jail in China, right? So that's again another part of his story. But how do the parents get matched in, right? We're talking about a television show. How do the parents get locked back in? To even the Leangelo situation. How do they keep the family together? That would be a dope name, keeping the family together for the reality show. So look, so now Leangelo's story, right? He gets locked up with the with stealing those glasses, right? So now how does the family get together again? It's family business now because the father gets into this battle with Donald Trump, which is the most famous person in the world right now, Donald freaking Trump. So this father, Lavar Ball, his son gets into a situation. So he makes it's brilliant how it's done. This should be on television. Because some of us are protecting the wrong things. And when we talk about keeping the family together, you do what Lavar Ball is doing right now, right? This needs to be on TV. So now Lavar Ball, he makes the situation not about, I'm sure he handled this thing internally. I'm probably sure Leangelo got a few pop, 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 pop. You know what I'm saying? But neither here nor there. I'm saying this is keeping the family together, right? So he makes the whole issue not about us paying attention to his son stealing the glasses. That's like a byproduct now. What? He stole glasses? What? He did what? Nah, it ain't about that. What it's about now is him and Donald Trump. Remember? Donald Trump said he's ungrateful. They did that right before Thanksgiving. But the genius thing about it that we can all learn from when we talk about keeping our families together is the way that Lavar Ball actually took the attention off of his son. Obviously it's not 100% gone. It hasn't disappeared. But to the human eye, it's like, oh snap, I forgot about that. It's all about Lavar Ball. So for a lot of people, what you'll see on this show is that Lavar Ball is doing the most amazing thing. He could potentially be doing the most amazing thing for his children. And that's to not deal with the bullshit. Just do your thing. What, you play ball? Do your thing. You draw? Do your thing. You want to be a nurse? Do your thing. All the other bullshit, the shitty shit people are going to say, especially the public, I'm going to hold that shit down. They're going to forget about it. But you're going to have to do your thing with whatever you're doing. You're going to be a teacher. You're going to have to be the best teacher now, because I can't stop them from saying you're not doing a good job. I cannot stop them from saying you ain't doing a good job. That is what I'm going to need your help on. You do a good job at whatever the hell you want to do in life, and I'll take care of everything else. I will shield your pain. I will shield your criticism. I will hide your mistakes. Now, again, the only way I'll be supporting that is if internally he was dealing with, because on the naked eye, you're like, oh, snap, the coach of the high school team told his son he can't shoot 50 shots a game. So he pulls him out and says, I'm going to homeschool him now. Right? So I'm hoping this analysis is based off of he was doing something internal. He fixed that situation internally between him and his son, right? And that's what I would also like to show on the show. That's what I would honestly like to show on the show, is that side too. Again, that might be 20% of the show, maybe 10%, 5%, whatever the producers and all that we all agree to, but we'll definitely have that portion in there too. Some of these people is thinking that this guy, I mean, he's causing this attention for a reason, for this long. You get attention one time, your 15 seconds of fame, that's cool. That comes and goes every day. Look at a lot of these rappers, right? But on some real shit, the way he's been capturing people's attention. I mean, he had people buying some shoes for $500 a pair, and they took like what, 6-8 months for them to get the shoe, and they was aware of that. This guy is smart, I'm telling you. So I'm assuming that he's taking care of this internally. If he's not taking care of this internally, then that's a whole nother show, and these kids will eventually end up in jail, in prison, or dead at a time that might be considered too soon. But again, my money says that he is handling that stuff internally. And they're getting the discipline. They're learning the lesson that they need to learn when they make mistakes. He's just saying, he's just doing what he got to do to make sure that it's not brought to the public eye. So he deflects the attention for their mistakes. That would be pretty dope. Then what? You got LaMelo. That's the young boy, right? That's the young one. I just heard, I think he's about 6'6". He's about 6'6" right now, right? So, I mean, he's dope. He scored like what, 80 or 90 points in a game, in a high school game, which I saw some of the game. I didn't think it was that crazy. But again, this is his story, right? This is his story. And again, we all have stories. Some of them is bad, some of them is good. In this show, we would see like, oh, look, that's these moments that we have, they're just parts of our story. The bad stuff is included, but you see what I'm trying to say? So that's the youngest, his story, LaMelo, right? He scored 80 or 90 points. He's the kid that likes to wild out. We see the video. He's making this trick shot from the top of the pool house into the pool. He's doing some shit with the basketball, and he always likes to have fun. I think he got a Lamborghini or a Ferrari for his 16th birthday, so he'd be driving around Chino Hills with that. That's a part of his story. He's just the flashy guy. Right? He's the flashy guy, right? He's the flashiest of all of them. He has the biggest personality out of all of them. But again, how does the father get connected with that? The father gets connected with it by simply saying what? He gets connected with it like, look, you're going to have to chill out and get better at your craft. Y'all remember, because remember, he was connected. Remember his father. Again, a smart father. What does he do? He gets on the video camera and he scolds and disciplines his child about his craft, about the fact that he's not playing defense, right? Anybody could score and he scolds him. And a lot of people, when that video came out, was like, oh, he's too hard on this kid. He's too hard on the kid. But listen, it's never, if you're not in the situation, if you're not going to be held accountable or held responsible for a specific child, that's a very fine line to say that could be viewed as very disrespectful. But a lot of people, whether if it's a coach, a mentor, a parent, or Medea, a child needs to know certain things, right? A child needs to know certain things and certain things that they're not doing good, whether that's in life or in school or in their extracurricular activities. They need to know exactly what is and what is not. They at least have to be exposed to it. It doesn't have to be embedded into them or programmed, but they do need to at least know. They need to have an understanding of the good and the wrong things of most things, within reason, according to their maturity and their age, right? So we got to get that together. But shout out to the Ball family. Like, I think that's, keeping the family together. I think what you guys are doing is really big. Um, and it's real, right? It's very real. And somebody just said they already have a show.